Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am here to tell a paranormal story time. So I've had some really weird stuff happening in my house the last 2-3 weeks it's been. This is actually going to be my second paranormal video. My first one was reading scary stories off of Reddit. I'll link that down below if you want to watch that. But this one is actually about some of my own experiences. And I just want to preface this by saying I've had a lot of paranormal experiences in my life. Growing up, I didn't have any. I really didn't start having any until I was surrounding myself with a certain person for a long period of time. I've never experienced anything in my house until now. I mean, I remember one time back when I had bunk beds a long time ago, I was either falling asleep or I was asleep and I heard like somebody go, "Rachel," in my ear, but that's the most I have ever experienced in this home. And I have been in this home since I was 5 years old. Like I said, I have had plenty of paranormal experiences, but they've always been outside of this home, and 99% of them have been with one certain person. So I was kind of hoping, honestly, that it wasn't me, it was him. But I feel like lately a lot of things have been happening to me. And I think maybe it's because I've been watching a lot of scary movies, scary videos on YouTube, and I know the more you give attention to paranormal things, scary things, ghost things, the more you seem to have experiences. But on top of that, like I said, I've never had experiences in this house. So I'm not really sure what's going on, but I wrote them down and I wanted to tell y'all what I have experienced, just because I feel like at this point maybe I should start like documenting it. I'm hoping this isn't the start to something. I'm hoping maybe these were just kind of one-offs and it's not going to become a trend in this house. Another thing I also want to mention is up until now, basically, my dad, I live here with my parents. My dad has been a non-believer. Not just a skeptic, a non-believer. Now that all these things have been going on, he's kind of been experiencing a few things here and there himself. He started referring to it as an anomaly. My mom, she believes in it. She hasn't really had that many experiences, but she believes in it. So I just wanted to tell y'all that. So if you want to hear what's been going on in my house, please keep watching. Okay, so like I said in the beginning, this has been about the past 2 or 3 weeks. I believe it started with, I was watching Loey Lane's channel. If you don't know who she is, she tells a lot of scary stories, a lot of her own, a lot from the internet. I was watching her videos about the Dear David story that came from Adam Ellis on Twitter. If you're not aware, I'll link that down below. Basically, this guy on Twitter was reporting these things that were happening to him, and he referred to the ghost or whatever it was that was haunting him as Dear David. He actually, I think it's like a comic drawer, or he does a lot of drawings for things, and he actually drew what Dear David looked like to him. And I was watching a lot of those videos. I was binge watching them just because I was really into it. And one day I was standing literally right behind where I'm sitting now, just standing there. I don't remember what I was doing, and I just remember seeing out of the, I know this sounds crazy, but I remember seeing out of the corner of my eye, standing next to me, lower down, what looked like Dear David. And I know that sounds crazy, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm just imagining it. You know, I've been binge watching the Dear David videos. I have to be imagining this. But it startled me so bad because I legitimately saw this figure that looked like Dear David out of the corner of my eye that I jumped because I thought somebody was standing next to me. It was weird. It was really weird. So I was like, okay, I've just been watching too many of the videos. I should probably relax on doing that. So then after that, one night I was walking down my hallway, and it was late at night, so it was dark. We leave our bathroom light on all the time, which the bathroom is at the end of my hallway right here. I'm like sharing this wall with my bathroom, and then I have a long hallway with 2 doors on the sides, and the one on the right hand side is my dad's room. He has blackout curtains, so his room is really dark all the time, even during the day, but this was at night, so it was like extra dark. And I just remember walking by his room, and I just quickly looked into it, and I thought I saw him sitting on the edge of his bed, like getting ready to get up, you know what I mean? So I kept walking. I went out to my kitchen on the other side of my house, and my dad comes walking in our back door. So clearly I didn't see him in his room, and he was outside. So I'm not really sure what that was. It looked like him sitting on the edge of his bed, getting ready to sit up, stand up, whatever. And yeah, so that was really weird. I told him about that, and he was like, okay, that's really weird. And that's when he started referring to things as the anomaly around here. So another weird, I'm trying to tell these in order as well. So like the last 2 weeks, I have been waking up every single morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. Most of the time it's not 6 o'clock on the dot, but it's somewhere in 6 o'clock in the morning, which is weird for me because I'm someone who sleeps through the night. I don't like have to wake up to use the bathroom or anything like that. I'm someone who sleeps like a rock. I don't wake up for any reason really. And every morning I'm waking up at 6, and it's really weird. And even one night I woke up at 3 and then 6 and then 9, which I feel like are really weird numbers. This might sound dramatic, but you know, they say when there's a demon present, you may hear things in 3s, or things may happen in 3s, because that's an evil spirit mocking the Holy Trinity. So that's really weird, especially at 3, 6, and then 9. I mean, obviously that's in 3s, so that's really weird. And I just don't like that. And I'm someone who really needs my sleep. Like, I enjoy sleeping, so it's messing me up that I'm waking up all the time, especially at 6 o'clock in the morning when I don't actually have to be up until 8, so that's just annoying. I even thought about downloading a sleep talk app just to hear what goes on while I'm sleeping, because I've actually been told that I talk in my sleep a lot. So I've always been interested to hear what I'm saying, but I've never downloaded it because I've always been scared that I'll pick up something paranormal. And like I said, I enjoy my sleep. I'd like to be able to go to sleep without thinking about ghosts, you know what I mean? Which leads me into the next thing. So a couple of these nights over the last week or two, I woke up at 3, I believe it was 3:33 in the morning, to a woman laughing. I sleep in a room that's in the front of the house. So I have the street and then the house in front of me, and it sounded like it was coming from out front. And I looked out front, nobody was out there, but it was like a loud laugh, and it was a woman's laugh. And I know I didn't just hear it because I sleep with my Boston Terrier Tavy, and he actually jumped up and started barking when he heard it. So we both heard it, super weird. And then another night, I was, you know, in that stage of like falling asleep, but you're not exactly asleep yet, but you're like really close. And I heard this weird, like, it was like a metal bubbling sound, almost like if you know what like a really old carburetor sounds like when you're trying to start it up. It's like a popping, bubbling sound. And it sounded like it was coming from outside. And I do have a neighbor that has like a really old bike that kind of makes that sound when he's trying to start it up, but usually he eventually does get it started and it's really loud and I can hear him pull away. Well, there was none of that. It was just this weird, like, bubbling, popping, metallic sound. And I know it wasn't just me that heard it because my dog started barking and growling. Like, he was sitting up in the bed looking at my window growling, which is not what he normally does. Usually when he hears something, he either just sits up and listens to it, or he may bark once or twice, but he doesn't usually sit there and continuously bark and growl at it. So I was like, okay, you know, what's happening? Just last night, I was in that stage again where I wasn't asleep, but I was not awake. I was almost asleep, and I heard a woman scream come from out front again. And it wasn't just me that heard it, because my dog jumped up and barked a couple times because he heard it too. So I'm really starting to wonder, like, what am I hearing? And I'm looking outside all of these times and there's nobody out there. And so I'm starting to wonder, like, where are these sounds coming from? Because, you know, it's not early. I mean, it's not necessarily super late. I think last night it was probably around like 12 that I heard this happen, and the time before. And then obviously before that it was 3:33 in the morning, which is weird. So yeah, there was that. And I was like, okay. And then about a week ago, I was in my bathroom at the end of my hallway brushing my teeth, and I had the door open behind me. So I'm standing at my sink, there's a mirror in front of me, and directly behind me is my hallway. And I had the door open, so if I moved my head, I could see in the mirror the hallway behind me. It was night, it was dark again, and I was listening to music on my phone while I was brushing my teeth. And I was kind of dancing to it, and I thought I heard my dad coming down the hallway behind me and turning into his room. And I remember consciously thinking to myself, I should probably stop dancing because he's gonna make fun of me if he sees me do it. And because I heard him coming from the kitchen down to the hallway and go into his room. So I heard that, I paid no attention to it. I didn't like look because I consciously heard him coming. And so I finish up brushing my teeth, I go down the hallway, I go out into my kitchen, and once again, he is coming through the back door. So he was not coming down the hallway or going into his room when I thought I consciously heard him coming down that way. He was outside. And there's nothing in my house that could be mimicking these noises of my dad coming down the hallway. My mom was already asleep. It was like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. I know what my dogs sound like coming down the hallway, and I think, as a matter of fact, they were in my room anyways, sitting on my bed. So I don't know how to explain how I saw him in his room, sitting on the edge of his bed when he was outside. I don't know how to explain me hearing him coming through the kitchen, through the dining room, down the hallway, and turning into his room. I don't know how to explain that. And I don't know how to explain why I've been waking up so many times during the night, because like I said, I never do that. Normally I sleep through the night and that's it. I don't know how to explain these noises that are coming from out front of my house when I look out there immediately after hearing it and nobody's out there. And when I say I heard like a woman laughing and a woman screaming, it wasn't like quiet, it was loud. I heard it, and so did my dog. So I just don't know what's happening. And then like another time I was sitting outside on my porch that's on my backyard at night, and the house behind us is vacant. It's up for sale and it's completely dark, and I was sitting there and I heard banging coming from that house. Like somebody was like banging on the front door, but nobody should be there at dark banging on the door when that house is vacant. So I was like, okay, that's really weird. And in that same night, when I was sitting out there after hearing the banging, my boxer Jax was out there with me, and the chair that I was sitting in, he was standing in front of me facing me, and he just started growling and backing up, which is not normal behavior for him. So I don't know, there's just been a lot of things that are hard to explain, or kind of like, okay, what is that? And I'm trying not to like pay attention to it. I'm not trying to, you know, bring on more things. I'm not trying to bring on more attention. I would prefer not to have these things happen in my house, just because this is like, you know, my safe place. This is where I sleep. I prefer not to have things like that happen. I actually set up a security camera in my living room. I wanted to set one up just because my boxer sleeps out there, and I like to just, you know, keep an eye out on him while he's sleeping out there when I can, you know, still be in my bed. Because sometimes I hear him like rustling around in his crate, and I want to know why. So I set up a camera out there, and I'm gonna start reviewing the footage at night just because I'm kind of curious if there's anything on it. I don't know if that's a good idea or not though, because like I said, I'm trying not to invite this kind of activity into my home, but I'll definitely let y'all know if I see anything. I'm still debating on whether or not I should do a sleep talk app, just because I'm scared I'm gonna get something, but I'm very curious what I'm saying in my sleep, and if I'm gonna capture anything, you know. I don't know. I've just had a lot of weird stuff going on, and I thought I would update y'all. Like I said, I've had a lot of things in my past happen, and I really want to film some videos about that. I just got to get organized and, you know, split them up into different times and organize them so I can tell the story well. But I just wanted to come on here, tell y'all the story, and if we have any updates, if anything keeps happening, I'll definitely film another video and keep y'all up to date. I do have Instagram and Twitter if y'all want to follow me there for like real-time updates. It's Call Me Rachel63 on both. And if y'all like these videos, please give it a thumbs up, just because I'm really curious what y'all want to see. And if you're enjoying this kind of content, definitely keep filming more if y'all enjoy this kind of stuff. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel if you're not already. I really want to do like a 100 subscriber giveaway if we get to 100 subscribers. That's something I'm definitely interested in doing and would be happy to do if we get to that point. So please hit that button down below, turn notifications on if you don't have them turned on, thumbs up the video, comment. I'll answer every single question. I will acknowledge you. I don't have a lot of comments, so you'll definitely be seen. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.